welcome to this NMC OSCE clinical skills video. Today I'm going to be going through the clinical skills station, which is the peak expiratory flow. My name is Hannah. I'm a UK registered nurse and a University UK lecturer, and I've also been a OSCE lead, and I'm sharing my top tips and information around the NMC OSCE to help you study at home and to be successful in your OSCE. When I started doing OSCE training, there was loads of really poor quality videos and lots of misinformation out there. So I'm trying to put together some videos to help you, which are up to date and evidence-based and kind of support you with best practice. So I'm going to move on and look at peak expiratory flow. Okay, so peak expiratory flow rate. So we would do this predominantly in patients to manage and to monitor the asthma. So what it is it's the measurement of how fast and forcefully a person can breathe out and expire. Okay, and it's quite good to remember that and to understand, what this skill is for and why we would do that. Because when we're learning the technique in terms around taking the peak expiratory flow and what we need to ask the patient to do, then it will help us to remember. So it's how fast and how forcefully they can breathe air out, okay, into the peak flow meter, which looks like this, okay, and then the dial will move and measure the volume that they're able to expire. So it's an 8-minute clinical skills station, and you need to take 3 peak expiratory flow readings correctly. You also need to document all 3 readings, and you also need to document the highest of the 3 readings. And then you need to interpret the readings. So you'll be provided with a chart, and you'll need to identify what a normal reading should be for that patient's height and weight, and then compare that to your highest reading, and then give appropriate advice. So what equipment will you have? Like I said, you'll have your peak flow meter like this, okay, and you'll have a disposable mouthpiece, might be cardboard, and this one is a reusable one, which is plastic, okay, and in your exam you just connect that onto the end there. And the documentation, so you have your scenario, you'll have your documentation sheet where you will document down your readings, and then you'll have the peak flow graph, which you need to interpret, and I'll go through that in this session. So again, a simple scenario, so for example, this one, you've been asked to complete a peak flow measurement on Jessica Jones, who's been newly diagnosed with seasonal asthma. Okay, we'll give you your timings. And you'll see it here, it talks about post-procedure advice, and that is that clue for you to be looking at that chart at the end and giving relevant advice based on your readings, okay? This could be what your documentation looks like. So you'll have your patient details on the left. You'll have 3 boxes where you will put each of your 3 readings. You will then have the final box where you put your highest peak flow reading. And as with all your NMC test of competency stations, there will be somewhere for you to put your name, your signature, date, and maybe a time. So always check and always make sure you complete that part as well. And then you'll have your peak flow graph, which will look like this. I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to explain what you need to do with this at the end of your station. So how would I break the station down? So if you've watched some of my other videos, I'd try and break the stations down into lots of small parts. Okay, so you've got like a road map in your head. I'm going to do this, followed by this, followed by this. It just helps you plan your approach to your station, but also remember it when you're kind of anxious and pressurized with time. Okay, so like with all our stations, we're going to start with key principles. Okay. So again, ID checks might be already be done in the station, and that would say that on your briefing, but I'm going to do my safety, my privacy, my hands. I'm going to explain the procedure, okay, and that's why we need to understand what this procedure is for, okay, and gain consent. I'm going to then go and collect and prepare my equipment. I'm going to explain the breathing technique to the patient, okay, and then I'm going to verbalise through taking 3 separate readings, okay. I'm going to need to document all my readings and my highest reading. I need to dispose of any waste, clean any equipment, and then need to interpret my findings against the chart. And then with all our stations, just need to check in with the patient, make sure they're comfortable, don't need anything, and end that station professionally. So we're going to look at these 7 station components separately now. So again, those key principles: safety, privacy and dignity, decontaminating your hands using the World Health Organization 7-step approach. I'm going to introduce myself with hello, my name is. If the ID checks haven't been done, it is good practice to do your ID checks. You making sure you're showing the NMC that you're doing the right procedure on the right patient. So if they haven't been done, I'm going to confirm name, date of birth and hospital number verbally and against a wristband. Always going to ask for allergies, okay, just in case any of the equipment I use could cause an allergy. So we always want to know for allergies, and again check that against a red wristband. I'm going to explain the procedure to the patient, okay, so I'm going to explain that I'm going to need them to take a deep breath in, form a tight seal around the mouthpiece and breathe out in a short, sharp huff. And remember what I said at the beginning, it's that measurement of how forcefully and quickly they can breathe air out, okay? And I'm just going to make sure my patient is comfortable before we proceed. Then I'm going to get my equipment, okay? So I would decontaminate my hands at this point, okay? I'm going to get my peak flow meter, which obviously looks like this in the video. I'm going to make sure my needle here moves up and down and place that down to 0, okay? So the end closest mouthpiece, and that's really important. We put the gauge down to 0. I'm going to put my mouthpiece on the end, and I'm going to put on gloves and apron for this because the patient is breathing out forcefully, there's a risk of kind of like aerosol contamination there, so that's why we put the PPE on, okay? Then I'm going to come back to my patient. I'm going to ask or assist them to sit up into an upright position, okay? And I'm going to ask them to hold the peak flow meter horizontally like this, making sure their fingers are not occluding the gauge here. So the fingers need to be away from the gauge, okay? Going to make sure my gauge is down to 0. I'm going to ask the person to take a deep breath in through their mouth to full inspiration, so all the way in. Get them to place their lips tightly around the mouthpiece and obtain a tight seal. And that's a really important key part of verbalisation. And then ask them to blow out through the meter in a short, sharp huff as forcefully as they can, okay? And once that is done, your examiner will then give you a reading to document. And you're going to give you're going to verbalise then that you'll give your patient some time to rest, and then you're going to repeat that procedure again. So verbalise the whole thing again, okay? So holding the meter horizontally. Every time you must make sure you say that the gauge is coming back to 0, okay? Getting them to take a full deep breath in, making a tight seal with their lips around the mouthpiece, and then breathing out with as forcefully as they can with a short, sharp huff. And again, the examiner will give you another reading, okay? And then you're going to repeat this again. Make sure you verbalise, putting the gauge back to 0, and you go through that process, okay? After you have taken each reading, like I said, the examiner will give you a reading because you'll have a mannequin for this clinical skills station. You are just going to document down your readings, okay? It doesn't matter if you've still got your gloves on, you keep your gloves on, document it down, do your next reading, document it down, do your next reading, document it down. Once you've done your 3 readings, okay, you need to document your highest reading, and you need to make sure that you have signed, dated and timed if there is a time, and put your name on that documentation chart at the bottom. Then you need to dispose of your waste, okay? So if you've got a disposable, like a cardboard mouthpiece, that will come off and go into your clinical waste, okay? You might need to, you can verbalise that you would clean the peak flow meter down, okay? Then remove your PPE, okay, and your gloves, and then you'd want to decontaminate your hands, okay? Because obviously you've been in contact with the mouthpiece, which has been in the patient's mouth, okay? Put any waste into the clinical waste, so into the orange bags and bins. And then we're going to move on to interpreting the chart, okay? So in adult, you'll get a peak flow chart that looks like this, okay? Along the bottom is the patient's age, and then there's a colour-coded line depending on their height, okay? You also will see that the chart is, there's a separate colour-coded line for women and men, okay? So for example, if my patient was 40 years old So you'll need to get that information from your examiner, or it might be in your patient brief, okay? So read your brief carefully, and if it isn't there, you need to ask the patient for their age and their height, okay? So if my patient was a female, a woman, was 40 years old, and their height was 152 centimetres, this very pale blue line that's running along the bottom here, and basically you'll have a ruler in the station as well. You are going to go up from 40 until you hit that blue height line, and then go across, and you can see here my arrow is hitting 420. So my patient's peak flow for their age and height should be 420 mils, okay? And I'm going to compare this reading to my highest reading that I've got from doing my 3 readings, okay? Normally, your readings are a little bit less than what normally should be for that patient, so you need to verbalise some advice there. So it could be, you know, that we might want to check your inhaler technique, ask the patient if they're managing okay with their inhalers, you know, say that obviously we'd come back and we'd check this after a period of time as well, and we'd maybe escalate to the doctors as well. So you just need to give a little bit of advice and recognise if the peak flow reading is a little bit lower than what it should be for age and height. So it's a good tip when you're practicing. You can get the peak flow chart from the NMC supporting document pack and print a copy out off, and just practice with a ruler, just plotting up different ages and heights. And then we're going to finish our station. So I'm just going to check that my patient's comfortable. I've explained kind of post-procedure advice in terms of you know, explain to them what their peak flow is, what it should be on the chart, and things that we can do to try and support them to increase that, such as, you know, regular use of inhalers and looking at their inhaler technique. I'm going to ensure they've got the call bell if we're in hospital, and that they know how to press it if they need assistance. I'm going to do my final hand hygiene, okay, using the World Health Organization 7 steps. And like with all our stations, if we've got any time left, I'm going to check and double check my documentation, make sure I have completed it correctly. So my top tips for the station is don't forget to sit your patient up and verbalise that you sit them up in an upright position. That is often forgotten. Ensure you make sure that you set that gauge back to 0, and you verbalise that and you do that every time after you've taken a reading. Make sure you can explain the breathing technique correctly, okay? So ask the patient to breathe in through their mouth to full inspiration, form a tight seal, okay, with their mouth around the mouthpiece, and blow out in a short, sharp huff. You need to do your documentation correctly, so document all 3 readings and the highest reading, and don't forget to sign date and time and add your name, okay? And then use the graph to find the normal reading for the patient's height and weight, and compare this to your highest reading. Hope you found this video helpful. You can like and subscribe. Going to be putting out a lot more clinical skills videos over the next few weeks. I'm also available for one-to-one tutoring, so get one-to-one feedback on your clinical skills. I can do face-to-face. I have equipment as well. You can practice all online, and we can go through all that verbalisation, can give you feedback and give you like kind of constant marking and support on that. You get access to all my teaching resources as well, all my scenarios, professional values, evidence-based practice scenarios, got more detailed clinical skill videos as well. I could do mock OSCEs, just mock OSCEs online as well, and give you feedback all face-to-face. So you can email me on hannah.lames@outlook.com, or you can visit my Facebook page, Nurse Tutor Tutoring with Hannah.